Leaks. Everybody knows about them. Whether you love them or you hate them, we all have seen them and we all have opinions on them. And of course, I do too. With a lot of them recently coming out, some of them being probably fake, like 99% fake, and some of them being more believable than others, I just thought this would be a good time to give my opinions on them. So, usually when it comes to leaks, I say that they're good with moderation. And now, what does this mean? I'll analyze this in this video. So, here are spirit leaks, the good, the bad, and the ugly. All in my opinion, of course. Also, before the video starts, I can now do community posts on YouTube, so check those. There's a good chance I'll try and upload on them regularly, just little polls or whatever. Anyways, let's get on with the video. Now, yes, we all know that Jerry is not the only animatronic that has been leaked prior to its release. I mean, obviously not. Almost every single animatronic nowadays has been leaked before its release. But I just saw last year that it had a huge snapback to him being leaked. And personally, I don't have a problem with these kind of leaks. Because if they're on the website page, they're already going to be released fairly soon. And also, if you just leak a single animatronic, I personally don't see the problem. Because, like, you're still going to see it eventually. And it's just not a big spoiler, because it's just the same as getting a sneak peek, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's just what I think. Now, as I've said before, this happens with almost every animatronic nowadays. A little less so with the graveyard shift in 2021, but yeah, that's just what I think. In my opinion, tabletops aren't a big deal either. I mean, you're gonna see them anyways, as well, such as, the whole animatronics thing. But also, they're just small. They're not in the themes either. They're not the main thing people hype up. So personally, I don't see the problem in it. I don't think there's much issue. I certainly don't get, like, banning people off the wiki and stuff, but that's a topic for another day. Now, of course, you can use the same logic for things later in the list, but I'll go into why. I just don't think knowing the tabletop spoils much, since they aren't the entire year, and they're certainly not a very big part of it. Here's, in my opinion, where things start to get just a little bit worse. Well, actually quite a bit worse, since this isn't the okay, this is the bad now. But what I'm talking about here are the theme leaks of 2020. Now, these were the first instruction manual photos we've seen of Reaper's Island and Jack's Cave. Yes, I know those might not be the technical names. You see, the problem I had with these is that before this, we didn't even know that we were having an island theme at all. There were no clues, so I think that just came out of nowhere to me. And I don't think that's the best thing to show right off the bat. But the reason this isn't in the ugly, I will say one thing that is because, well, when this was released, we did still know some of the animatronics. Like the front image you could see of, like, the Reaper's Island village, you could still recognize, like, Crouchy the Butcher, and this was also just aided because at the start of the 2020 Halloween season, Spirit released their teaser that showed almost all of their entire lineup. So, things could be worse in my opinion, but this certainly isn't great. Being let into the store. Now, a lot of people say this isn't a leak, but this is my video and I don't care what you say. In my opinion, this is definitely a leak. Because if you look at it this way, if someone, hate to sound like the Joker, we live in a society for a moment, but if an employee takes a picture of the instruction manual for the themes, and goes online and says, yo, look, this is the themes, then that's bad. Yes, everybody loses their mind. But if an employee lets someone into the store and lets them film, then that's perfectly okay. Now, again, this is in the bad, because for me, the bad is just employees leaking anything. That's not great. But again, it could be worse because the themes are usually in their unfinished states. You always like never see any animatronics because all the ones that you do see are probably like the early shipments, barely any, mostly returning props. But still, it's not amazing. Now, the theme leaks of 2021. How are these different from 2020, you may ask? Well, I do think there are little reasons why. The main one is because these were published on July 13th, which was 2 days before the Graveyard Shift trailer, which would show a bunch of the animatronics. In fact, all of them, really. Not all have been officially released on the Graveyard Shift, but still, you'd at least see all of them in the teaser. And we didn't know that at the time, but we knew something big like this was coming. So, leaking it early was just not that great. Now, this does have a little bit of power over the Reaper's Island leaks, because we did at least have some thoughts we were getting the factory. However, the big problem I had with this is unlike the Reaper's Island and stuff, at least for the front theme, they showed a lot of animatronics in this one. And I mean a lot of them, which we didn't even have any clue would exist. We knew maybe of like Henry Hustle, but that's about where it ends. We've seen some that like Orange Band Graveyard Shift trailer, but that's barely anything. Now, in my opinion, these type of leaks especially are ones that I'm still going to cover, of course, but I think they're a little too much, especially when we have no idea what like the year will hold. So, it's just kind of a bummer to have this leaked so early on. List the entire lineup. Now, this is nothing that has happened ever that's legit. It's happened, I'm not sure if it's even happened at all, but that doesn't change the fact that I don't think it should happen, because this obviously spoils a damn lot when it comes to the lineup. And now, 90% of these are fake, as I've said, but these are just not good, because, like, it's just too much. Like, if you leak one or two animatronics, maybe their pictures, their demo, or their price, then I think that's okay, because it's not very much, whereas in this is like showing everything right off the bat, and I don't think that's very good either. So I really don't think these things should happen, and 90% of them are fake too, so that's at least good. In conclusion, what are my thoughts on leaks? Personally, I don't think they should happen straight out of the blue with us knowing absolutely nothing. Because these leaks that just show everything right off the bat, over time, they can oddly ruin the year. Because I remember back in like 2017, 18, 19, where these things happened just way less, how excited I'd be watching the flagship store tours, seeing all the animatronic placement and stuff, because I just found that really cool. Now, in my opinion, animatronic placement is almost just as important as the themes. But like with those kind of leaks, you didn't even see the back of some of the themes. So it was just really exciting. And I just don't think you should spoil too much all at one time. Like one or two sneak peeks like a day before they happen. I think that's okay. Tabletops are fine. One gets to the theme leaks and they just come out of nowhere, or like, as I've said, the entire lineup, that's very questionable. Now, there have been some recently that have come out, and I'm not talking about the tabletops, because those are whatever, and I'm not talking about the anim numbers, because that doesn't mean anything to me. I wouldn't even put them in the good, because they're basically just the equivalent of saying that Spirit will have animatronics this year, so I just find that a little stupid. But in conclusion, if you're going to post leaks, at least do it when we have a slight idea of what's happening on in the year. So, let me know your thoughts of leaks in the comments below. I've made multiple videos of them, and so far this is my take I have now, since my take's always changing. like and subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.